Hi, I'm Alice Bull from scrapbookwonderland.com and the Scrap Happy membership group. And I'm here today with
Vicki Boutin! Vicki Boutin. Boutin for some of the Canadians, but Vicki Boutin for me, who used to be a smith.
So I'm really excited by what I'm seeing here, and I would love you to share a little bit more about what you have happening here at CHA 2017.
Yay! I can't wait, because if you've met me before, you know I don't have a problem with talking. I love the talking. So it's exciting. Like, when I started this, I was at the show last year, and this was kind of a new thing that I said I have an experience, a good relationship with American Crafts for years, just as an end user and teacher. And they said, we want to do something mixed media, we like how you approach it. And I'm like, great, because I really think it's something that's missing in the market is how to use it with scrapbooking. So I don't want you to clean out your scrapbook room and now become a full-time artist. I want you to use it how it works for you. So if you're a planner girl, you can do artful planning. If you're a stamper, you can use this. If you're a scrapbooker, you can use this. If you are a mixed media artist, you can use this. If you are an art journaler, you can use this. It's meant to complement what you already have. I don't want you to restart and rebuy everything. I will use this with my distress inks. Everything you've always seen me use, I'll still use the product. So that's kind of an overview of what my vision was, is I want easily accessible art to go. So with the art to go theme, let's start there. Is that good? So I have, I love pretty packaging. Everywhere I travel, I buy a container. That's my thing. So when I look at it, I know I'll use it. It won't just sit. It's not a souvenir I won't use. So I love containers, notebooks, pencil cases. I have 50 million of them because I love that kind of thing. So when we were sitting and they're like, well, what speaks to you, Vicki? What would be kind of true if we did a product line? I'm like, I need something that when I go, I am on a trip or I'm at the arena watching my son or he's at practice, instead of going on my Instagram, let's use my time more effectively so I can find those few minutes to be creative. We did this little art to go pouch. So the concept is this: I don't want you to store everything you own in it. I want you to customize what you need when you are traveling. Like, go to a crop now, you can put what you need and make tons of backgrounds. You don't have to bring your entire scrap room. So the whole concept with this is you have the rings, and all of the other items that you need have holes that you can fit in there. So the stamps don't yet, but will. But I can fit and customize what I need. If I'm making Christmas cards or whatever, the idea is that I would put what I need in the binder, and you can customize what you have. Like, you know me, I would love for you to buy in, or if you're excited about what I have, but this could still work with what you already use. So you could just add the binding, rings, holes, add what you want, customize it, put your paints in, whatever you need. It zips up, it's pretty, you take it with you. So the idea there. And then as well, you know I love mini books, and I call them junk journals because I like to junk it up. I just got this, so I haven't had a time to do much with it, but I wanted to show you what it is. The idea is it comes like a junk journal. This junk journal is whatever you want to make. You can make a scrapbook album, a mini book, but I like the concept too of a play journal. I don't art journal, but I like to practice my backgrounds before I commit in something like this. So the pages we have interactive pages that you can buy. So I stencil with some art medium, put my glitter on, but here this isn't committed, so I don't care if when it's done it doesn't look like what I meant it to look like. This allows me, before I've committed to my final project, to practice with the mediums, because that's what mixed media is all about. You will not hit it out of the ballpark the first time you use it.
What? You don't get it right the first time? Gee, I've never experienced that.
Right? So I played, like, can you see the metallic on that? So another thing, we're going to get to it. I have so much to share. I'll try to talk faster. But it's the paint, layer, 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 the whole thing. But the idea with this journal for me is just playing. It are not finished projects. In the end, if I'm done and I wanted to, I could add photos on here and make it a little album, right?
I would totally take that page right now and turn it into something.
Or do it in your planner, or do it as your background for your cards, right? The other thing is, because they're reusable product, it's the investment initially might be bigger, but you just keep using, and the more you use it, the better you get at it. All right, so this idea, washi tape. Love my washi, but I painted a background and then added my washi. So it's like making my own pattern paper. But interactive bits, I like to increase the real estate, right? So I could still add more. So it's just mediums. I jelly printed that. I love printmaking, so I did, and my paints work great with that. So the whole idea, this is meant to be whatever you want it to be. There's no set rule. Like if you said, Vicki, what's your junk journal for? I'm like, whatever you want to junk up. If you want to do it, I would, I'm an enabler and I'll push you to do things that you don't want to do. So I would push you to do a practice journal because I think it's important. You have to test drive this stuff to get the feel for how it works, how it mixes with other mediums that you have. So that's the idea. So we have our art to go and our journal. I could do these two, put them in my bag, and make tons of magic. Because that's the plus with mixed media. The possibilities are endless. It's magic in a jar or magic in a stick, okay? So you have that idea. We have the stencils that will fit, and let's kind of go on a tour.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. That's great.
So we have misters. They're just good misters. I put them in the set so that if you don't have one, or you have a dollar store one that doesn't mist so well, it's just a good mister. It is another bottle of possibility. I can mix my other things and do. So it's just a good tool. It's a tool.
Well,
right?
it keeps people from having to go out and find it somewhere else, because if you can't find it, then you're not going to do it.
The paint's not in here yet because they haven't arrived. It's just a good acrylic paint. It's really opaque. It's not too thick. Just a good paint. I want to grow this so the color palettes will grow. But we did it in smaller packages so the price point it's easier. If one day you can go in and you can't buy a set of, 12, right? 4 and 4, 8, 12 paints. But I can maybe buy a set for 4. I can try it. If I don't like it, I don't have to buy it again. But I don't think it's going to be a problem. Like I said, I use tons of paints. It's just a good acrylic paint. And then we won't get to this first because I want to kind of give you an idea of how my brain works. It's a scary place, so I'm going to invite you inside. You have the paints that are your mediums to do your backgrounds. So I did traditional acrylic paint that are just good high pigmented paints. These are art crayons that are water soluble. So the idea with the art crayon is I can use it as like an oil pastel, and you'll laugh. I'm a Sephora girl. So of course, I love these blenders. Well, guess what? This blender works perfectly for blending these crayons. Because these crayons are water soluble, I wash it and I can reuse the blender. It has the fine tip for small areas and the bottom's flat. So if I have a big area to add color, I can do it. So the idea is with these, I will put it on an acetate sheet to make a watercolor. That first run where I just squiggle with it, the color's not very opaque, but what's nice, because they're water soluble, is when I put the crayon back in the pool of paint, I can make really pigmented watercolor. And again, it's not a huge investment. Even if you like high-end watercolor, buy them, but if you haven't tried anything, this is a great way to start. So it's one of those that just complements what you have, okay? So again, 8 crayons in each in 3 color families, like a cool, a warm, and a neutral, okay? The blender, which I don't know, and I'm going to find lots of ways. Do my makeup, do my art, right? So, we've added color. We have our base, our first layer. We have a watercolor tin that's coming out. I'm reconfiguring it because I want it to look different. Like, I have some ideas, so it's always, like I said, scary place. Are we good? Yeah. So it's coming, watercolor. So traditional, like add water, dry watercolor, right? So those are what you would build your base with. The next thing I always go in to do is add texture or glitter. So I have mediums. Gesso, which is a primer. It's just a basic gesso. It's a little bit more fluid. It's not super thick. It's just a nice consistency medium to use to prime, to make your colors more true if you wanted to do that. Okay, so it's just a good gesso. You have the 2 glazes. This is more fluid, matte, medium, and this one is a little bit thicker paste. So if I wanted to pull it through a stencil and do a resist technique, I can do that. If I want to decoupage or seal or whatever you want to use your medium, you have that. So I've added my color. I go in now with these 3, rock my world. It is a silver glaze, a gold glaze, and an iridescent glaze. So see this? Painted background with acrylic paint, first layer. Second layer, I took a old room key. I might have kept one of those.
Yes, any of those.
And then I took my palette knife and loaded it on there and dragged with it because it's an easy way to get the color on, but you don't have to be painterly. So I put that layer on, let it dry, And then the next layer, so see the metallic in here? You always go thick to fine, because if you put fine glitter on first, it will just cover all of your adhesive. So either medium you could take, I dragged that on. And then I went in and I placed some of the mica flakes that look like gold leafing. And then I went in with the glass glitter, and then finally you go in with the fine glitter. But look, this literally took me probably, with drying time, a half hour. But the technique in itself is about a 15-minute technique. But you'd look at that and you'd go, how did you do it? That's easy. 3 steps. 3 steps to make wow. But look, if you're still clean, because I like graphic funk, I call it, because I like the painterly, but I have control issues, so it needs to be contained. I contained it here. I could have done this and cut it out if I don't want the buckling on my paper, and sewed on it and added it as another layer. Whatever you want to do. But I hope you're getting the concept that you put your colorant on is your first layer, and then you have texture. But then guess what we have to do? We have to dress it up, right? Yeah. So then we have stencils and stamps, which is a key thing I use all the time. So I can go in now. This here is a watercolor sticker book. So it's watercolor paper and a sticker that I can add pigment to, so I can customize it to match whatever I want to do.
And it's almost like an introductory item for the person that's really scared of putting it on their page, right?
You could just use it as a sticker
color
if you
your
want to.
sticker and get that perfect look, and then put that in your book and be like, ta-da!
And guess what? 8 pages, and I know, look, the retail here for Canadians, you know it'll be more, because it's the US retail price is $4.99 for 8 sheets of watercolor stickers. So, and I love it because it doesn't matter which paper line you're using, you could customize your art to match, right? So it's something, it's reusable, you'll get your bang for your buck, and then you can mix it with, I'm not asking you to change what you do, it's gonna go with what you do. So, and then we have just lots of embellishments that you want to use on top. This is the reactive tissue I talked about. Yeah. Isn't that fun?
That's very fun.
Cut it, die cutting machine, your steel ruled dies, so you could die and make your background. And then more storage, and there is a paper pad.
Can you tell us about the reactive and show us the example?
I didn't talk to you about that. Oh, yes, of course I can. So I showed you this, right?
Yeah.
You get this pack. There are 16 sheets. There's 2 sheets of each color. They're folded. Big sheet. So this is going to go far. And then here is one way I used it. I took a light green sheet of the tissue paper. So you would want, for this technique, it would have to be dark on light, because you couldn't transfer the other way with the way the colorant is in the paper. So I took a light green sheet, I crumpled it, and then I took a dark green sheet, crumpled it, put it on top, and misted the heck out of it. All my colorant is in the paper. All I need is water to make the magic.
So some of the dark green transferred to the light green.
Like tie-dye or batik. It's just fun. And like I said, I've just got this product. So this is just one thing I figured out to do with it. Look at this other one. Let's find it. I have 2 other ways that I use this. Literally in a day to just figure out. So there's lots more to come. Okay. I decoupaged the tissue. So the adhesive was under, and I missed it. And then look, the color totally spills. See these dots? Those dots are that I put on top, misted, color transferred, but then decoupaged. So I just used it. So imagine, that's just one step. So all the tissue, even though we use it as a color transfer, the used tissue, when it's dry, we could die cut flowers out of and still use it. And this one I love. So this was plain. I used a sheet of, this one is Tim Holtz stamping paper. So I had it on hand, and why I liked it had a coating on it. So I used the paper, I wet some of the green, and see the green in the background is literally almost like sponge painting, or back in the day, rag rolling kind of idea. I just put it's color placement. I had die cuts. I had been with my silhouette doing a whole bunch of die cuts. I had a butterfly. So I went, okay, let's see what happens if I put the butterfly on top and then I do this whole water transfer thing. I put the dark sheet of tissue that I think it was this one, or it might have been this one. Put it on top and just misted the heck out of it, peeled it off, and when I peeled, because it's just cardstock, it sealed, nothing bled underneath, and I got that from scraps. Right? So super fun. So I don't know, I'm super excited about this. It's like I said, I'm a crafter first. I paper craft. This was like, yay, I get to use stuff that I would have used anyway. So it's just kind of like customized Vicki. So I don't know. It's fun. It's exciting. I don't know. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I'm wondering when we're going to be able to get our hands on it. So when are things coming out to stores?
There's stuff that's ready to ship at the end of January, the majority in February, and a little bit at the beginning of the March, because some of the stuff we've changed because I just want to make it a little better. It's coming, and I know for my Canadian people, contact your stores, let them know. There's lots of online options and a lot of people will custom order for you, because what's nice with American crafts is their minimum, like the orders aren't huge. So 3 of your friends want it, then they'll order it in for you. You just have to let them know. They aren't going to just expect. This floor is huge with lots of options. So if it's something that speaks to you, let them know.
And that's good for girls like from all over, right? I know in our Scrap Happy group we have girls in the UK, in Australia, all over the US and in Canada. So.
In the US, Joanne stores in April. In April. So there's one, Joanne stores in April, which is exciting. They are going to have the entire line end cap, so you'll find it there. We'll get it to you. There's ways to find it. It's just Google search, look up Vicki Boutin, and you will find it. It's out there. Okay?
Thank you so much. I have to say, I love your whole logo thing, the color in it.
Being a part of American Crafts it's a family. That's what people don't understand. It really is. The heart of this whole thing is amazing, and for them to give me this opportunity, a little Canadian girl, right? It's kind of exciting. So. It's good.
Thank you so much, Vicki. Thank you so much. This is Alice Bull from scrapbookwonderland.com at CHA 2017.
Great, thank you. That was good.
So much. Oh, I wish you all the best. I can't wait to play.
The paint! Oh, yay!
There we go. Here, I'll hold it still so that it's not going to jump. There we go.
There we go.
Okay. Yay. Great. The paints have just arrived and I'm helping stock them on the shelf. So Vicki's paints are here.